What up, y'all? This is where R to the A to the S. Yes, Rise here to proceed with Carson Ball. They want to talk about how the Christian life is like the life of a professional athlete. Um, we're gonna look at some similarities between the Christian and NBA players, NFL players. Uh, Couple of similarities I see. Number one would be both have a standard of excellence, in some sense perfection, but at the same time, you don't have to be perfect in order to be great. Now, you think about the life of an athlete. There's no quote unquote perfect athlete. You can go to the great players today, from your LeBron James to your KDs. You go to the past with your Kobe Bryants, your Michael Jordans. You go to the past with your Kareems, your Bill Russells. All these players are great players, but none of them have a standard of perfection. Like, none of them have all their lives hit every single shot, done everything right. But we see their greatness despite of that. We see their consistency in their game and in their craft. And the same thing in the Christian life. We have a standard. Our standard, of course, is holiness. But even though our standard is holiness, we have not attained that perfect standard. But we can still be, pleasing in the eyes of God if we show some consistency. You don't have to, just like with an athlete, you don't have to be perfect. But in order to show greatness in the Christian life, you definitely have to show some consistency in your life. And that is what will make an athlete great, and that's what will make a quote unquote Christian great in that sense. Another thing I would look at, in the life of an athlete would be looking at how you can improve your game. In the life of an athlete, no athlete starts out as the complete player. You can go back. You want to go with your boy LeBron James. You want to go with Kobe Bryant, Toby Bryant. None of them came into the league perfect. LeBron's a better shooter than he was when he came into the league. Back in the day, Toby Bryant, everybody remember his air balls. Being a Christian, being an athlete, you have to each and every year think about how can I improve my game, right? And we seen with LeBron how he improved on offense, able to hit better shots, do different moves. He worked with somebody he was quote unquote discipled by Hakeem. Same thing with with Toby Bryant. He was discipled by Hakeem Olajuwon. Same thing in the Christian life. In order to improve, in order to grow, we have to be discipled by people who have been through this Christian life and who can give us wisdom and advice in order to improve ourselves in the Christian life. Trying to grow on your own without some type of community, without somebody discipling you, is at the very least, stupid. It's not very smart to go in it on your own and be a lone Christian and try to grow on your own. You need people to help you improve your life, or as and Peter talks about, like, add to your faith this, add to your faith this, add to your life. That's improving your quote unquote game in a Christian spiritual sense. And then the last person I want to look at, of course, is the goals. in the athlete life, he does not let the small tasks get him off his square when it comes to his ultimate goal. I mean, look at the life of an NBA player. I mean, you have, was it 82 games, and then you have to win basically 16 games in order to get the championship. And most of the time, you're going to play more than 16 games. You know, you got to get 4. And so it could go up to 7. Okay? You got back-to-back games. You got being on the road all the time. All of these things that are difficult. But the athlete, and of course money is an influence in that, but for those who are in it for the love of the game, they have to endure a lot in order to get to that goal, which of course we know is the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Same thing in football. I mean, they got to go through, a hard season full of injuries, playoffs, championship game, Super Bowl. Same thing in the Christian life, man. We got to go through we have to go through obstacles, or what the Bible calls light afflictions, sufferings, but we have an ultimate goal. And of course, that ultimate goal is the return of Jesus. We have to obey, go through the seasons, go through the playoffs, until our death or until Jesus return, whatever your eschatology is. I ain't here to debate all that stuff. But we have to think in terms of what is our ultimate goal. As an athlete, they will go through all those regular season games that might seem meaningless in order to get to their goal. Same thing with the Christian life. We can't give up. We can't just say forget it and quit it and all those types of things. We got to go through the regular seasons. We got to go through the ups and downs, because our ultimate goal is to be with Jesus. Our ultimate goal is the return of Jesus. And that's what our focus must be. And I'm going to just read just a little bit of the scripture and then I'm done. This is from 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. It says, "Therefore, preparing your minds for action." That's us. This is ESV. We got to prepare our minds for action. And being sober-minded. That attitude has to be sober-minded. We can't be knocked off our square. We got to be sober-minded. We got to be prepared for action. And then lastly it says, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So our hope, our future is on the end goal. Just like the athlete is on the end goal of the championship, our focus, our hope is set fully on the end goal, which is Jesus Christ and being with Him. And to quote the truth, He is our reward. So that got to be our focus, man. The athlete, the Christian life, principles that are there. That's my thoughts. Let it hear yours. See what calls the ball. Kobe still sucks. And I'm out.